Hello everybody, this is List, and today we are going to be going over all of the tier 10s I own, and I'm going to be ranking them based on how I think they are and how they perform. So yeah, we're going to start right here. We're going to start with the Chisel. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. I'm not a huge fan of this tank, mostly just because I don't like mediums, and I don't know. It's not my cup of tea, I guess. I haven't played it a whole lot, but it just I don't like the gun. I liked it better when they had the Chieftain gun before with the 400 Alpha. It got buffed to 440 now, and I'm just not a fan of that. And yeah, it's not a bad tank, pretty good tank, but it's just not my favorite. Next is the Tusk. Um, I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. This tank is pretty bad. It's one of the worst light tanks. Um, I don't know. I don't like it. The gun is very trolly, bad camo. It has good view range, but the thing is, it kind of took the worst aspects of the Sheridan and the 13105, which is what this is made up of, and put it together because the hull is absolutely terrible. It can't turn. It's kind of slow. It only goes like 68, I think. Um, but yeah, I don't really enjoy this tank. I think it needs a little bit of a buff, maybe to concealment or I don't really know, DPM, or maybe just accuracy, because it's in a bad place right now, I think. But yeah, I do enjoy the tank somewhat, as I have 3 marked it. It is a fun tank, it's just not good. Minotauro. I absolutely hate this tank. This is probably my most hated tier 10. It's so inaccurate, I can't do anything with it. It's just, I'm always on fire, it has no side armor, there's nothing good about it really. Even when it's hull down, those little tracks right there, if they are looking at you and they can see the tracks, they can just shoot up right through them and pen you. So it's kind of useless hull down. It has cupolas that get penned, and don't get me started on the gun. The gun is absolutely terrible. I have to run all these equipments just for the gun, and it's still terrible. Um, but yeah, I really don't like this one. This is a 5 out of 10 for me. It's pretty much just a worse Badger, worse DPM, worse everything. Um, yeah, I really hate this one. Next is the Zolg, and I love this tank. I would give this a 8 out of 10. This has got to be one of my favorite super heavy tanks. I would maybe give it a 9 personally for myself because I like it so much. But yeah, it's very good. I run ammo swapper on this tank, as you can see, and it just makes everything about the gun much better because I can quickly swap to HE, or if tanks are hull down and I need to do fast damage, I can just swap over. And it has like 950 HE rounds, so those are very nice, especially when you pen. But yeah, overall solid tank. Not the greatest armor, but I play it for the gun, and that's why I like it. Next is the Sturv. This is a, I'd say 9 out of 10, or maybe 10 out of 10 for experienced players. This tank is amazing. Amazing camo. It got buffed. It has like, I think it's the second highest DPM. It's like almost the same as the Badger now. But excellent pen. It's got good everything. You got good armor when you're facing mediums, lights, and heavies with smaller guns. They're not going to pen you if you're sitting like this. And even if you are hull down, um, big rounds like Turan heat rounds and Yagru heat rounds can still bounce if they hit that little tray on the front there, because it's like heat protectant. So that makes it pretty good. And you could basically become a light tank when you're in like Prokhorovka or something and there's no light, or your light is dead. You could become the light tank because you have better camo than any of the tier 10 light tanks. But yeah, overall solid tank. Next is the Kranvagen. I really like this tank. I also hate it. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I like the play style. It's not very good. You have to fire so much heat. It's expensive. You're playing it just for that gun depression, because it has amazing armor, as you can see on the turret. As long as you're using the gun depression, because if you're flat TDs, because everybody plays TDs now, if they load up their 370 plus heat, they can punch through your turret ring, which is kind of sad. But it doesn't happen too often, so just try and get hull down on a ridge line or something, and you'll be impenetrable. But yeah, overall, it's It's a pretty bad tank, but I can make it work. It is fun. Next up is the Utas. This is a bad one. This one's really bad. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Um, Mostly because I can play it like a light tank because I have a camo set up on it here. I think it has better camo than the 13105 when it's still, or maybe the same. But it's basically a light tank if you need to have that scouting role, similar to the SCRV. But the gun is really bad on this. Terrible DPM. The accuracy got buffed, so it's a little bit better, but it's still not very good. Bad pen. No, there's nothing really going for it. You do have some decent turret armor, so if you go hold down, you can bounce some shots. I have bounced a lot in this. Going to hold down on like Prokhorovka on the ridge, you can bounce a lot, or Westfield, but yeah, as you can see, it's got pretty good turret armor. The hull armor, the minute this little bar in the front, that light blue plate right here, that plate is almost always exposed when you're using your gun depression, and pretty much anything can just like pen you there, which is very unfortunate. So every time you're hull down, that little bit is usually showing, and they're just gonna pen you right there, and sometimes set you on fire because it likes to get set on fire. But yeah, overall pretty bad tank, but you can make it work. Next is the VZ. Some people might say this is like a 9 or 10 out of 10. I think it's an 8 out of 10. It's pretty good. Just not the best. The armor isn't there. I get penned a lot in between the gun, like right between the gun and those little heat shields. I don't know what the armor is there, but I just seem to get penned there a lot, and right on the roof because I think it might be overmatchable. It's pretty good. It's just not my favorite tank. Gun handling and the 2-tap is very nice. Bad pen, so you have to fire full premium usually, and it's APCR, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, overall I give it an 8 out of 10. You could maybe rank that higher if you would like. Next up, Hori 3. This tank it's pretty good. I'd give it a 7 out of 10, just for the gun. That's all it has for it, because the armor is not very good. The upper plate is pennable by pretty much everything. Sometimes you can get a ricochet because it's 100 millimeters. If you're like at a weird angle, people can ricochet there, but for the most part, you're gonna get penned there. 300 superstructure is pretty much useless. Every tier 10 has over 300 premium pen, pretty much, except for light tanks. So you can't really go hull down. It's just, I don't know. It's okay. Sometimes you can bounce a lot. Like I've bounced like 6,000 just being hull down on Himmelsdorf before, but then other times I'll just get penned every single time and block it up. So yeah, you're playing it all for the gun, the 700 Alpha. The DPM is okay. I think it needs a little bit of a buff, maybe just in terms of camo, because the camo is kind of mid. Everything's kind of mid about it. So I mean, I guess it's balanced. It's just not OP, but it's not bad really. Overall, if you're looking for a decent casemate TD, I'd say it's good. Not for a beginner though. A bit more experience. Type 5. I love Type 5. I would give it an 8 or 9 out of 10. Probably an 8 out of 10 overall, just because of when people fire premium, your armor goes, to nothing. And it's fun. You can just you can block so much, especially when you're top tier. You can block so much stuff. And the gun, it did get nerfed a while back, but it still slaps very nice with that 1300 Alpha. It's a derp gun. Both guns are very good. I just usually run the derp gun because it's a little bit more reliable. It is very inaccurate, I will say. You do miss a lot of shots. But if you do run the derp gun, you must run ammo swapper, because you can switch between these nice heat rounds and HE rounds. I think the heat rounds do 770 or 750 with 330 pen, which is just amazing. You can pen so much with that. Overall, 8 out of 10, good tank. STB1. This has been buffed, and some might disagree, but I think it's a 10 out of 10. Amazing DPM, amazing gun depression, decent gun handling, not the best, but it's workable. Good heat penetration, decent standard penetration. It's got pretty much everything. Decent camo. It does have turret armor now, So I wouldn't rely on it, but you can block stuff if you're going hull down. Like you're probably not going to bounce TDs and stuff, but if you're just going against other mediums, especially if they're firing APCR because the angles, it will most likely ricochet and you will bounce it. I love this tank. Funny thing is, the first day it was buffed, I actually pulled it out, and after a few games, I did almost 11k damage. And ever since that moment, I fell in love with it because I hated it before because of how bad the gun handling was and everything about it was. This really gave it a lot of life, and I'd give it a 10 out of 10 for myself. 114 SP2, my favorite tank destroyer in the game probably. 10 out of 10 for me. I don't know why I like it. It's not really the best in terms of stats. I just really like the APCR premium. And the thing is, the premium pen isn't even good. I don't really know why I like it. It just really works for me. Some tanks work for different people and stuff. It has no armor. It did get buffed probably a year ago, I think, which that did make it better. It's actually somewhat faster now. It usually goes about like 35 to 40 on flat ground. So it's somewhat mobile. But yeah, I love this tank. I've done 10k in it multiple times, and I love this tank. It's amazing. QL. I recently got this one for free, and never really wanted it because I didn't really think it was that good. I heard people said it was good, but I wasn't sure. This tank is amazing. 9 out of 10 for me, maybe 10 out of 10, but I love this tank. This is the only tank I fire full heat in, so I don't know, because I think there was a reason the shell velocity was really bad on the... No, it's the same. I don't know. There was a reason I fired full heat on it, but it's an amazing tank. It can side scrape. It's fast. It has everything. Good armor. Decent turret armor. You will get, if you sit still for too long, they're just going to hit your cupolas, and sometimes they do just pen you on the cheeks if you're slightly turned like that. They'll just pen you right there. But overall, this tank is, it's one of the best heavies I've ever played. Yeah, I do enjoy it. The 560 Alpha the damage racks up so fast, and yeah, overall an amazing tank. I think it looks cool too. Next up is the Wizzy 1321. For a light tank, it's pretty bad. But if you're gonna like use the gun and stuff, it can be really good. I would probably give it a 7 out of 10 for most players, but for myself, I might give it an 8 or 9 just because of how good the gun is. And the funny thing that a lot of people don't know about this tank is the turret armor. It has 200 millimeters right there and 180 on the cheeks. That may not sound like a lot, but the way it's angled, if you're at these weird positions and stuff, you can ricochet tier 8 heavy tanks and stuff. Like, you can go brawl in this tank. It really is a fun tank, and you don't see them a lot. I pretty much never see this tank out. Nobody plays it. I'd recommend. It's a fun tank. But if you buy and play this tank, you can't play it like a light tank, really. Because the camo, I think it's the second worst camo at tier 10 for light tanks, next to the Sheridan. But you're playing it for the gun, and you need to know what you're doing when you play this tank. Overall, I love this tank. 261, probably the best RD at tier 10, at least that I have played. This thing is very accurate, which is what I love, and I think it's 1,000 alpha on the HE, so you're gonna do a decent amount of splash damage. But I love it for the AP rounds. 660 AP rounds is just so amazing. 360 pen, it's really good. You can really rack up the damage. Most RDs you see, they're doing 2, 3, maybe 4K is a good game. I've seen people do 10K damage in this tank, which is utterly insane for an artillery. But overall, I love this tank, and it's probably a 9 out of 10 for artillery. Not overall all tanks, but for artillery, it's a 9 out of 10. Thunder Chief, I just got this one. I really like it. I've wanted it for forever, just because I think it looks cool. I'd say it's probably an 8 out of 10. Some would disagree. A lot of people hate this tank. The turret armor is really amazing. You can really make this work. Especially when you're hull down, nothing's gonna really pen you. Even like a Jagdpanzer, if you're using your full depression, he is not gonna pen your turret, and that has the most penetration in the game. I love this tank. I would give it probably an 8 out of 10. Overall, a solid choice for a tier 10. I would also say it's a bit more for advanced players because just of its play style and the way it plays. 277, good, good heavy tank. It's been buffed not long ago, and it got, I think it got a speed buff. It got an engine buff. Yes, I run powertrain on it to make it go faster. This thing is so speedy now. Like it goes 57, and you're usually going like around 50 or sometimes 65 down hills. It is so fast now. Amazing gun handling. I'd give it an overall 8 to 9 out of 10. Only reason it's not higher, maybe a 9 out of 10, is the depression. It has 5 degrees, which is absolutely horrible. Yeah, one of my first tier 10s, and I love it still. IS-7. Probably the best heavy tank in my opinion. This is an easy 10 out of 10. I might be a little biased on this tank because it was my first tier 10 in my first 3 mark. So, gotta factor that into there. But look at this armor. Amazing hull armor, 150. So when you're angled like this, they're gonna have easy shots in your lower plate. But if you can hide that lower plate, you're gonna need like 320 to 340 heat to pen those that upper plate. Along with the turret is pretty much unpennable. You can pen it. There's a little weird spot on the right of a turret you can pen, but other than that, it's pretty much unpennable as you cannot hit the cupolas. Amazing tank, bad penetration, but other than that, the gun is really nice and everything else is nice about it. Yeah, I'd say a 10 out of 10 for that one. Bat Chat. Okay, I personally like this tank, kind of. I like how accurate it is, but it is the worst tier 10 in the game by a mile. Like, even if you look in terms of marks and stats, you only need 3,000 damage to mark this tank, 3 mark it. That's how bad it is. Like, it's so bad. It has like 0 splash damage. In fact, the tier 9 is pretty much better in every way. This is a 10-second intro clip with a 30-second reload, or 40-second reload, stock. Where the tier 9, if you get it all upgraded and stuff, you're going to have a 10-second reload. So you're getting a 10-second reload on both. The tier 9 has the same accuracy. I think it's only 0.01 less. So pretty much the same accuracy. But you're getting 10 seconds for the same exact gun, where this one still has that 30 seconds. You're going to have to reload the whole clip. It's a terrible tank. It needs buffed. It's bad. Overall, probably a 5 or 4 out of 10. This is an easy 10 out of 10. One of the best mediums. Personally, I don't really like it anymore since they buffed the gun to 420. I don't like it now. I don't know, something about it seems different, and I don't really like it. But this thing has amazing turret armor, which it really shouldn't. I don't even really know how, because it only says 250 there. But like, I've never penned this thing in the turret. And even if you try and pen the little cheeks, like right there, I can't pen them. So I'm not sure how this armor model works. Maybe it's spaced armor, but it's amazing. You're doing like 1200 per clip with a 28-second reload or something. It's amazing. I'd recommend for anybody. It's an amazing tank. 10 out of 10. 30B. 30B has been buffed. I would say it's probably an 8 out of 10 now. Before it was kind of bad. The only reason I like it is because of how accurate it is and the APCR rounds. They are 1,500 meters per second rounds, which is so fast. Like, I think that's one of the fastest at tier 10. Heat rounds kind of suck. 310 pen, so I don't really use a lot of those because they suck. I just try and make the APCRs work. But yeah, it's got decent camo, great view range. It has a little bit of armor. If you, it's really just lucky armor. You're not gonna be using this armor, but you got 240 there, and it's spaced, I think, with 300 there. So you will bounce some shots, but like, do not rely on this, because if you're relying on it, you're just gonna get penned. Overall, decent tank though. 13105. This one is, it's okay. The clip is nice. The gun handling is like terrible. Probably a 7 out of 10. I mean, there's nothing really too special about it. The camo's decent. I think it's 319 meters base, same as the U does. So that's nice. You have not the best camo, but also not the worst, so you can make it work. 390 view range. It's okay. I like it just because I like French tanks, and the clip is kind of nice, but it's definitely not the best light tank. Yeah, overall probably a 7 out of 10. EBR. This is my favorite light tank. Some of you may know I have over 1,000 games in the EBR 105, and it is probably my favorite tank, maybe next to the IS-7. For most people, this is going to be a 4 or 5 out of 10, because in terms of stats, it's like bad in every way. The reason I like it, I would rate it a 8 to 9 for myself, because I've played so many games in it. I know how it works, and the camo is why I like it. It has the best camo at tier 10 for a light tank. Bad view range with it, so you got to work with that. Bad pen. But the gun is nice if you can use the pen, the 190 and 240 pen, which is the lowest at tier 10. It's got the lowest in pretty much everything, so it's not really good, but it is my favorite light tank, and I do think it looks pretty sick. But yeah, overall probably a 8 or 9 for me, but 5 out of 10 for most people. The Panzer, Kanonen Jagdpanzer, I don't know how you say it. This tank is terrible. 5 out of 10. Terrible gun handling, terrible everything. Decent. No, I think it's got bad. It doesn't even have a good DPM. Yeah, it's got 3K. That's without a commander. It's got bad everything. You have to fire a lot of heat, and even the heat just sucks. It's 310. There's nothing special about this tank. Just play a Leopard or something. It's better in every way. The armor, it says it has armor. It doesn't work. Like, every time I'm trying to pen this thing, I can never pen it. But, like, it has no armor every time I come up against it. Because even if you get it like this, you can just hit it in the tracks and perma track it. Because the track armor behind there is bad. Yeah, this is a terrible tank. Do not recommend. I should just sell it. I don't like it. I never play it. The RHM Panzer. This thing is pretty amazing. One of the best tier 10 light tanks. The gun is really nice. The only problem is if you're going to try and do damage, you can't because you have not a lot of ammo. I think it has like 35 rounds. Yeah, 35 rounds. It might sound like a lot, but when you're only doing 320 per shot and it has like a 4.5-5 second reload, that goes fast. And it's hard to carry because if you use all your ammo in the beginning, it's really hard to keep going and carrying, you know. One thing about this tank, it has 0 armor, so if you come up against a T249, you're dead. There's nothing you can do because you're big and fat, and you're just going to get auto-aimed. Even if you're running away from them or at an angle, he's still just going to auto-aim you because you're so fat. So that's one thing you got to look for. But this is probably a 9 out of 10 light tank. Amazing view range, good camo, amazing everything pretty much. The FV-183 Death Star. I like this tank. It was my favorite tank for quite a bit just because of the alpha damage, but it's not that good. It's probably a 7 out of 10. You got to run ammo swapper on it just to be able to switch between those nice rounds. I think I have mine set up for a camo build, because the FV-4005 can't do that really, so this is kind of, if you want a camo 183mm gun, this is what you're going to want. It's not really that great though. It says it has armor here. It has no armor. You won't block anything. I mean, maybe if they shoot your turret, but there's just this big fat ring up top that's like pennable for everything. That visor up there, you can pen it with pretty much anything. Yeah, overall decent tank, but it's not the best. Badger. I don't really like this tank. I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. Just because those little viewports next to the gun, let's see right here, they say they are decent, but you're going to get pent. It says 279. If somebody has 340 heat or even maybe 330 heat, they're just gonna pen you. Even when you're hull down sometimes, they just pen you right there. It's so annoying because you're supposed to be like this all indestructible tank, and you just can't be. It's really frustrating sometimes. I do like it in certain cases when I can get it into the right spot and the right map and everything, but most of the time I can't really make it work. And you do have to run the speed equipment on this because it's very slow. But yeah, not the best tier 10 TD. Nemesis MBT. This is one that a lot of people don't like, but I personally love and have always wanted. So I was so happy when it finally came on for sale. It's pretty much a worse chieftain in every way, but I can make it work sometimes, and it's just a fun tank. I think it looks really cool too. I also feel like a lot of people underestimate it when they just auto aim your hull, because it's only 118 millimeters, but it is sloped back like that, so you can get a fair amount of bounces and stuff. So if you're ever coming up against this, don't just auto aim the hull. Try and either go for the tracking wheel or the lower plate, because it is very troll. Turret is pretty good. You can bounce a lot on that little slope on the side there. I've bounced so much there. Even the Cupolas troll sometimes. But yeah, I love this tank. 420 alpha, 310 pen, which is pretty bad, but you can make it work. I still think it needs a little bit of a buff. I think they should just give it really good gun handling and just make that be special about this tank, because it has the lowest alpha out of the Brit heavies now. So I feel like they need to make it a little bit more special just by giving it the best accuracy or something. But yeah, overall 8 out of 10 probably for me. I like it. T114 Bat. This tank is good and bad. The shell velocity is the worst. Like, it's terrible. 570, or wait, yeah, 503 meters. That's terrible for the heat rounds, and 498 for the Hesh. It's absolutely terrible. So you have to play this thing at close range, because like you're not gonna hit anything. However, it does have amazing pen on the standard rounds. The standard rounds are heat, and they are 315. So that is, I think, the best at tier 10 for standard rounds. However, they are heat, so it can be a bit annoying. This thing can become a light tank, though, because it is pretty stealthy, and it may look like it has no armor. It has this little bits of space right here, and sometimes you can bounce like crazy things. Like, it's so weird. It's all luck, because you're not trying to bounce anything, but I've bounced so much stuff just on those little side skirts right there. Overall, I'd give it probably a 7 out of 10. But you could definitely make it work on certain maps like Prokhorovka or Westfield when you don't have a light, and it can become a 10 out of 10 tank on those maps. MBTB, I love this tank. I'm trying to gold market. I'm at 99% right now. That's how much I love it. I've never tried to gold market tier 10, so that pretty much says how much I love it. I'd give it maybe a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, just because of the gun and the armor. The armor isn't super good, but the skin is part of it. It hides a little bit. This little square back here, you can pen right through that, but when you wear the skin sometimes, I notice that people don't really know where to pen you, and it's very troll, because it looks like, you can see on the armor model, you can just punch right through it back there. It's 250 millimeters, I think. Let's see. Oh, 240. Yeah, you can just pen right there. But if you angle just like this a little bit, you're pretty much impenetrable in the turret, because if they can't see that side of it, there's nothing they can really do to pen your turret. It has amazing DPM as well, 450 alpha. It's an amazing tank. I really do love it. Don't try and side scrape or anything in it, because it is bad side armor, but it's more of a hold down beast. Last but not least, the T249 Black. This tank, as much as people might say how OP it is and stuff, it is terrible. The worst tier 10 light tank, I'd say. However, when you're coming up against tanks like other light tanks or Grills, Terrans, Arty, it is the most OP tank. So it's a 10 out of 10 when it comes to those kinds of tanks. But when you're trying to scout or trying to do damage to heavies and stuff, it's like a 4 or 5 out of 10, because it's just terrible. Like, I don't know what they were thinking, because it has 75 millimeters of pen. If there's a Type 5 on the enemy team and you're the last person alive, you just literally cannot win, because you can't pen it. Yeah, you'll do chip damage, but it's not enough. This tank is really terrible. It has 5 degrees of gun depression. I mean, it's so weird, because it's so good and so bad at the same time. Along with the spaced armor on it. There's so much spaced armor, you'll just bounce on it if you try and shoot it. Right here, I've seen people shoot these things with like ruthlesses with their AP rounds and stuff, and just bounce off the side of it. Like, it's crazy. What I think they should do to it is give it like 180 or 75 millimeters of pen, and reduce the clip by a ton. Like maybe only 5 damage per shot, and maybe the max clip potential could be like 900 or something, or maybe 1,000, to make it an actual light tank, to where you can actually do stuff with it. Similar to how the Czech light tanks are on PC, they're pretty bad still, and maybe they're balanced, I'd say. But that's what I think they should do to this tank. Make it like the Czech lights on PC. They'd be pretty balanced. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of my overall list on my tier 10s. Of what you rank some of your favorite tier 10s. But yeah, if you'd like to see more videos like this, comment, because I don't really know what videos you guys would like to see. I got a couple good ones coming up. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye.